But
We're
and then
here.
what I thought was just going to be like a
You are now listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to the Ringside Renaissance RRW Weekly Report. And we're back here with another episode. And I'm here with Pretty Deadly Jesse and QR Kev coming from, it looks like his parents' basement.
shh, don't tell anybody.
Okay. And I'm Combat Jones. What's up? How y'all doing tonight?
Oh, Peachy.
Yeah. What's up, Jesse?
We're living.
All right. So we're going to talk a little about Smackdown this week, Raw, and some AEW Dynamite. Let's do it. Starting off, we'll go back to Smackdown, and we have the King of the Ring tournament.
And Queen.
King and Queen of the Ring tournament coming up.
SmackDown was a decent show, you know.
Mhm.
There really wasn't too much to complain about. Matches were solid.
Yeah, it was interesting. Before we get into the King and Queen of the Ring, it was interesting the dynamic of Cody Rhodes coming out and talking, and then we see his next challenger is Logan Paul, the United States champion. That kind of threw me through a loop a little bit. I'm not against it. It just I guess what they were saying in the ring kind of confused me. I wasn't sure if it was title for title, if it was just for the Universal title. I was kind of confused, but I'm intrigued by it. I think it'll be a good match, and I think that overall, I think it'll be okay, but I was a little confused. But I think since then, we've figured out that it's going to be title for title. So
I'm like 80% sure on that. The way they were talking, you would think, but I also, like you've said in the past, that match being title for title could really only end one way.
yeah.
Yeah. And Cody did mention he's never been a
Grand
United
Slam
States champion, and he would be a Grand Slam champion.
Right.
So he alluded to it. I looked it up earlier online, and it really hasn't been set in stone that it's for title yet.
Yeah, and by the time this episode comes out, we might get some clarity on SmackDown coming out, because we're recording before this week's SmackDown, so we might get a little bit more clarity for it going forward.
Right.
But yeah, it was intriguing. Like I said, talk to you guys about, like, the only way I could really see that ending is Logan Paul taking the knuckles out and hitting Cody and getting caught and being disqualified. No titles change hands. Some sort of fuckery like that.
Interference.
Yeah, I don't see Cody. Cody's not going to lose, and I don't see him holding both titles. I don't see where that would make sense.
I mean, if that were to happen and Cody were to win the U.S. title, I guess you could make a story out of him losing the United States title to AJ or someone, to maybe, I don't know, but then how does that make your big champion, your main champion, look, dropping a title in general? And I don't know, it doesn't make sense. For an opening segment on SmackDown, an episode alone that had, 4 or 5 matches scheduled?
Yeah.
It went pretty long for an opening segment that had a lot of matches to follow. That was my only issue with that segment. Well, along with Logan Paul. I mean, the booking is great. Those two are probably going to put on a hell of a show. I just don't. The match itself just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and Logan Paul did get the match against Roman the last time in Saudi Arabia. I believe it was Crown Jewel.
That was designed to what? Just make Logan look strong while also giving Roman an obvious win?
Yeah.
But like Jesse said, and I know we've said it about this match before, it can only end in one way if it's for title. And interesting theory. I know you call me QR Kev. I'm only going to touch on this because I saw the theory online about an hour ago.
Mhm.
That another way it could end in DQ is if everyone's favorite uncle shows up and raises some fucking hell.
Uncle Fester?
Yeah. But
And just to be clear,
Uncle Buck.
I'm not the one that calls you QR Kev. That's the entire internet. Okay? That's the entire IWC. Look it up on Twitter.
Okay,
QR
I'll look it
Kev.
up.
I can't take all the credit for that.
I'm
It's
giving
your
you the
Twitter
credit.
handle.
No, it's not. It's literally not. It
Yeah.
says down below what my Twitter handle is. And don't you dare
Yeah.
fucking put QR Kev as my Twitter handle, because that's not it.
Yeah.
Q.
But like,
The
it's
Kev.
fine. It's literally just what it is, a theory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's, that's the case where I think the booking's not good because, like, what else are they going to do? Like,
Yep.
it's just built because of this deal with Saudi Arabia. I think they just need to
Yeah.
have the biggest match possible for their fans over there. I think that's kind of what they're getting at with it. And
100%. And like, is Priest even scheduled to be there? Or not yet? Not that I know of.
yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
Not sure when the match is booked for maybe him versus Drew.
I'm putting that
But-
one at Clash at the Castle, honestly. And you, in a moment where you have Drew about to win, that's when
Yeah.
Punk shows up, costs him the match again.
For Logan versus Cody, I guess as far as like a Saudi show and having like the biggest two people you could have there makes sense just as far as like his status and like
Right.
following and the whole Prime thing and
Fuck,
that's what that's why I'm not a huge fan of the Saudi shows
no.
besides like other reasons that are more not have to do with wrestling, of course, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Do
it is
I
what
think
it
it's cool getting wrestling out into the international eye? Yeah. Am I getting a little annoyed with these 1 o'clock start times for these PLEs? A little
Yeah.
bit. Because not everybody, I mean, I know most people are off on the weekends, but not everybody is home and able to sit down comfortably, have enough time to get ready to watch it and watch it fully to appreciate it for what it is.
Well, I don't mind the earlier shows. The problem with me with the Saudi thing is like the women wrestlers have
They
to
gotta
dress
wear
a certain way.
full on
Yeah.
onesies.
and then you're going to
the-
declare
yeah.
a queen of the ring and
That
Yeah.
nation doesn't really care that much for the women,
yeah.
And in the same vein, on SmackDown, some quick results. Nia Jax defeated Naomi to advance. Carmelo Hayes defeated Baron Corbin to advance. Jade Cargill defeated Piper Niven. Then Bianca Belair defeated Candice LeRae, which is very interesting. I
Mhm.
could see almost Bianca versus Jade in the finals,
Yeah,
Yeah.
which would be
that's what I'm
interesting.
thinking. Real quick, I wanted to note what a good job Baron Corbin did going down to NXT, refiguring out himself, because I'll be honest, he looked like a totally different Baron Corbin in that match. He looked
Yeah, and he was
crisp.
almost the baby face in that match
Yeah.
against Carmelo, right? Because Carmelo's kind of being built up to be the somewhat heel now,
Mhm.
coming from NXT with the whole thing with Trick and then going against Cody. And so at this point, yeah, I was surprised to see Baron back out there and playing that role. But
It was very cool to see Baron back on SmackDown. And like I said, he just looked better than he did.
yeah, he can wrestle
previously.
too. You can't take that from
he's
him.
good.
Hell
Yeah,
no.
He's good.
Yeah.
What else? Piper, Niven, and Jade. That was
Yeah.
a decent match. Piper can move.
Yeah, Jade hit a Blue Thunder bomb
That
on
was
Piper
nuts.
Niven. Yeah, which was one of my favorite parts of SmackDown. I feel like, yeah.
Agreed.
And that was one of her first solo matches too, I believe. Without being in the
Without
tag
Chelsea, yeah.
tag matches and stuff.
And-
Officially on the blue brand.
And Jade's holding her own a little bit better in singles competition. I'm starting to really like what I'm seeing with her flow. She's not looking as robotic as she was in the beginning.
Yeah.
She just seems to be starting to figure out what to do.
Yeah, sometimes it's not all there still, but she's getting more fluid with it, I think, in the routine with the matches and what they're trying to do with her.
And so moving on, we had Tamatanga defeated Angelo Dawkins, which was surprise.
Yeah.
And in the
Flat
main event,
finish.
Randy Orton defeated AJ Styles to move on, which is, I think I can say that every match, I think, in the tournament, especially in the Smackdown side, was pretty predictable.
Yeah.
But then Randy Orton against AJ Styles, they kind of gave us like one of those, either it could go either way, and was surprised at the finish. And it was exciting because I get frustrated when you watch any event, if it's a weekly show or a premium live event, pay-per-view, whatever, and 90% of the matches are predictable.
Right.
And it's like, and you'll hear people say, well, just enjoy the match. If I knew who was going to win a football game, would I want to watch the football game? Like,
Right.
I watch
Exactly.
the football game because I want to see who wins. Like, I watch hockey because I want to see who wins. Like, I don't, so
Right.
like the actual who's going to win is a big part of it for me. So to have I thought AJ Styles was going to go over, honestly. So
I'm right there with you. I thought AJ was going over, and for them to give AJ and Randy over 20 minutes to cook with for the main event,
it was good.
that was nice.
Two
Yeah, no, it was a
solid
good
in-ring
match.
veterans.
Yeah. It was a good, final match, main event for SmackDown.
Mhm.
I kind of personally, my go-to pick to win this would be Randy right now, because I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and he was saying with Randy at the current age he's at, being in arguably the best physical condition he's been in years, that you got to capitalize on his physicality and well-being while you still can. And he's never won King of the Ring. As far as giving him one more final push that's not in the title picture, but like he could get a push against Cody. I would love to see that match. But first, I would like to see him get to that other level by winning a King of the Ring tournament. I think that'd be awesome. King Randy?
Yeah, that's kind of my problem with the King of the Ring sometimes compared to how it like used to be like way back in the day when it would kind of like really make somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like we've gotten like a lot of heels winning the King of the Ring tournaments kind of and using that. But the problem with it with me is it kind of like lasts only like that year, and they'll wear the crown and they'll use the title or the title of being the king or the queen now.
If that, like Xavier Woods won last year, was it? And like, it was like 2 months, then all of a sudden it just dropped,
And you had Selena Vega too, and it's like, do they get like a real title shot out of it? Like have a tournament and whoever wins it gets the title shot or make it for something that actually matters. Like, I guess it goes down in the history books of who won it and as an accomplishment, which is cool. But
look at some of the iconic character builds that have been brought from a King of the Ring tournament. Probably the most notorious one is Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Without him winning King of the Ring, would we have ever gotten Austin 316?
Right. No. And you didn't hear him afterwards being like, I'm King Austin now.
No, he just, he transitioned into being Stone Cold.
Yeah.
And it was from there.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's in Saudi. And that's why they're,
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
It's just to have an attraction for the people there to say, oh, we saw the King of the Ring event, Yeah.
Right. Realistically, all this is cardboard cutout crown jewel. Like they're just slapping King of the Ring over the crown jewel tag.
So that was the results for SmackDown. There wasn't really too much overly. Like I said, we got the WWE Universal title picture kind of shaping up. The first round of the SmackDown tournament shaping up. My camera shaking up. And then we moved on to Raw. And Raw was the second round of the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And opening up, we had Io Sky facing Shayna Baszler. And I'm not... I'm a Shayna Baszler guy.
Yeah.
And you can't honestly tell me in any reality that Io Sky would stand a chance in a fucking ring with Shayna Baszler.
Hell no.
Like, I don't get it.
Me and you were in the group chat hard about that one. I didn't like that when I heard going over as far as Shayna not going over.
Mm-hmm.
Shayna deserves a little bit of a push. Like,
Yeah, and she came in so built up to be such like a force too, and like would just choke anybody out, and was so dominant. And now she's, it's been a while too that they've been doing this with her. That
she's become a glorified jobber.
Yeah.
Like, not saying she's getting squashed, but like she's putting on, and like the match itself wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
But like for the end result being what it was, Shayna deserves better.
Yeah, and shout out to WWE production. One thing that I do have to say I thought was really cool was the video packages before the round matches. Like building up to it, it sounded like a sports commentator, the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler, reignites her rivalry with Io Sky. And like they built it up, and it just made it kind of it felt like it meant more.
Yeah, a lot of backstory. Yeah.
Right, and it just, like we said, like King and Queen of the Ring's just another thing, but like to have those little video packages, to me, made it feel like it just meant a little bit more going into the match. I really enjoyed those a lot.
Yeah, those it almost felt like a mini PLE the way they had those video packages before every match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And next we had Gunther defeating Kofi Kingston. Like, and,
another one of what you said, a predictable outcome. I love Kofi, but did anybody realistically see Gunther not going over in this tournament?
No, most likely not.
I have a bold prediction on that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's that?
And we'll get to it at the end of the event.
Okay.
So next we had Bronson Reed defeats Tozawa, who gives a fuck.
Oh,
wasn't that match over in like 2 minutes?
Dude, I don't even know because I didn't watch it.
I'm pretty sure I remember I was at work. It was commercial break. I went to go to the bathroom. I came back and the match was over.
Yeah. I mean, what do you expect? They're trying to build
Tozawa
Bronson Reed as...
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got his pep talk from Chad Gable and did real good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not a...
How about Liv interrupting the little backstage promo and Becky Lynch coming in and coming from behind her when she was talking smack about her and popping her in the face one time.
Yeah, that was a killer. That was a killer fucking punch, man.
You're not sold on it. See, I like what's going on with Liv right now. I'm right into the story. I'm along for like the revenge tour. Like I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
All I gotta say is if that weak ass fucking punch knocked her on her ass, she doesn't stand a chance in this fucking revenge tour. Because
I agree with him on that. That was a weak ass punch, and her knees buckled.
She's got to take her moment. Play to your strengths, Liv. You got this. You got this.
Jesus
sold out tour.
Christ.
We believe in you, Liv.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and they're trying to build up Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah.
I'm here for that. She's phenomenal in the ring. And as much as I didn't like Io going over on Shayna, vice versa, I liked Lyra going over Zoe Stark.
Yeah, that's fair.
Lyra is very athletic. Do I see her winning the tournament? Not necessarily, maybe. But depending on who SmackDown decides to push from their end, whether it's Jade, Bianca.
Oh, Jade's winning this whole thing.
Yeah.
Jade's winning the whole thing.
I think that's a solid prediction. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not going to have her come in and be built as big as they built her to just losing around somewhere.
Right.
Sami Zayn defeated Otis, who gives a fuck.
Yeah.
They're really squandering Sami Zayn's title run.
Yeah. He hasn't had a solid opponent since he won it.
Yeah. I mean, the Chad Gable match was good.
Okay, yeah, but since that,
there's not much story going on with the Intercontinental Championship. That's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're worried about Liv's fucking revenge tour.
No.
It's like
give her the title then. She'll take Sammy out.
My issue is Sammy wins this title, the fans lose their shit. WWE finally did something right by putting a singles title on Sami Zayn, and then it's like they just want you to forget about him.
Well, the flip side of that, too, is the loss to Gunther meant nothing. You know, like if Sami Zayn's going to be the one to finally beat Gunther and put him down, like push him to the fucking moon. Like now the pin on Gunther really essentially means nothing. You know, look at Gunther being how strong he's being built in the King of the Ring tournament, coming off a loss at WrestleMania, and Sami Zayn's just kind of getting pushed around by Alpha, Omega, fucking Beta
he
Kai.
might as well just kept the title, or had him lose it and then face Cody at King of the Ring. I don't.
Right.
Yeah. You know, Becky Lynch defeated Dakota Kai in a DQ match. Whatever.
They're not doing much for Becky right now either.
They're trying to keep damage control as a thing, and I think they're kind of past the point.
Yeah.
Damage control should have ended when EO lost the title at Mania.
I think I'm being a little too negative with stuff, but
hey, we're here to be as truthful and honest about all things pro wrestling, and if our honesty happens to be mostly negative at any given time, so be it. We're just being truthful.
Well, Dakota Kai, I think she's had like some good moments and stuff, but I didn't realize that she's 36 years old.
No way.
Yeah. So you got to give her a lot of credit. Yeah, she's 36.
Asuka's over 40. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is?
Asuka.
Yeah, where is she hurt right now?
I believe so, yeah.
Gotcha.
I think she wrestled the tag match hurt. You know, and then like they had like Jesus, why can't I think of his name right now? Braun Strowman backstage with Alpha Academy. This whole shit with Braun Strowman's very confusing to me. Like,
and then you had JD come up on him.
Yeah, we're just gonna draft him to Raw just to fucking have him pep talk people backstage.
Right.
It's a good pick.
Real quick, a hot take from Monday Night Raw involving Bron Breakker. I agree with him. He should have 100% been in this tournament. How do you draft someone like Bron Breakker to Raw and then literally have him do nothing on the shows but say I should have been in the tournament? Give him a match on the card or something. Like, do something with him.
Be put over as how dominant he is and have all these squash matches to build him up.
He doesn't need anymore.
Yeah, well, unless he's going to win the tournament, how are they?
Yeah. And that's not the direction they're going. They don't want him to win the tournament. They got something else.
I don't think they have an idea of where they're going yet with him.
Well, that leads to the final match was Ilya Dragunov against Jey Uso, which is another main event surprise because I thought Dragunov was winning that 110%.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I did too.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
I thought they were going down to Gunther and Ilya Dragunov in the Raw finals to go to the King of the Ring, and because they built something like that backstage with Gunther talking to Ilya, and I don't want to project too far in the future, but so this is my bold prediction, and I'm going to get into it because Jey Uso moved on, and I don't know the brackets 100%, so I might be wrong with this.
Okay.
I think it's going to come down to Gunther against Jey Uso, and
on the Raw side.
Yep. On the Raw side.
Yep.
And Kaiser's going to screw Gunther over and cost him the match.
Ooh.
Because there was that little backstage promo that Kaiser did that he looked really shady in and really, really, like, I feel like that's going to happen, and that's a legit way so he doesn't have to get a clean loss. And it's going to come down to Jey Uso versus Tamatanga for the King of the Ring finals, to which Tamatanga is going to destroy Jey Uso, and that's going to cause Jey to go call up Jimmy and Roman. And that's what's going to reunite the Bloodline.
So you're predicting Tamatanga is going to be the King of the Ring.
So you're predicting this Bloodline feud to start now, as opposed to later on down the road and leading towards Survivor Series. Okay.
Well, somewhat slow burn to start with.
They can slow burn it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's going to take some time for the Usos to get back together.
It's not going to be like, I missed
the story. Yeah, hopefully. So
yeah, because
he still calls him Jealous Jim. So
because there's got to be some sort of crossover because Jay's been drafted to Raw, and then Roman and Jimmy are still on SmackDown, I suppose. So there's got to be somewhere that there's a crossover where this happens. And what better way than King of the Ring, because it's both brands there. So that's my bold prediction. I don't know. Maybe you could even have it where Tamatanga just fucking destroys him so much to where he gets disqualified. Jay wins the King of the Ring, but he's completely fucking destroyed.
Right.
And, something along those lines. That's my bold prediction for the King of the Ring. I don't know who's going to win it, but it's going to come down to those two. And then Jade Cargill's going to win Queen of the Ring.
Okay.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Book it, Levesque.
Bold prediction.
Trips.
I got a bold prediction. QR Kev's got a bold prediction.
All right.
Uncle Howdy's not winning King of the Ring.
Yes, he is. No, I'm just kidding. And this is going off of another conversation I was having with someone about, it does regard Uncle Howdy and Jey Uso. My prediction, I'm with Jesse as far as Kaiser screwing Gunther out of beating Jay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with them as far as that goes. And then I'm here for Jay versus Randy. And based on recent tweets made by Jey Uso, where he said, the Fireflies are now mine, don't care, it is what it is, hashtag Yeeter of Worlds.
Okay.
Basically, like, obviously, deep down paying homage to Bray. But I think that'd be a fun-ish way to bring Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six in, claiming the Fireflies back and attacking Jay in the tournament.
Where
and
did this
because
whole
Randy also has a history with the Wyatt family, could also screw Randy, or vice versa. That could go either way.
Or it could be part of it.
Or he could be part of it. We really still have no idea who all is involved with this shit.
Who's your prediction for the winner?
Me?
Yeah.
Realistically, I want Randy.
Okay. I think going into it, I thought Gunther was probably going to be the winner. That would have been like, but I think it would have been like too obvious of a choice if they choose to go with him. Like, that's just who you would expect, maybe.
Right.
I'm going to go off from both of what you said. I'm going to go with Jey Uso. Yeet. Yeah. Yeet, yeet.
So
the yeet of the ring.
Can I sidebar on this while we're talking about it?
Yeah.
Is King of the Yeet.
King of the Yeet. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah. Monday night. Yeet.
Where the fuck did this Wyatt Six thing come from?
All right, so...
Like, what are we playing, Connect 4?
No, this was the original plan with Bray and Uncle Howdy way back last year.
But what does it mean?
It's a new faction. It's in the new Wyatt family.
So
it was always supposed to be a new Wyatt family. 6 was going to be the 6 members, including Bray.
So it's just an unoriginal title. Just Wyatt 6.
I mean, that's what the fans were... I don't know if that's what it was actually going to be called.
Is this like an official confirmation, or is this just like IWC talk?
Right, yeah. It's really... They haven't trademarked or anything the name Wyatt 6. It could be Wyatt family for all we know.
Right.
But
I'm Johnny 5. I'm alive.
I did notice a cool little parallel. If either of you saw one of the recent teases that said in the weird letters and the glitch, it said, we now follow the words of the red.
Yeah.
Think about what that means for a second. What was Bray Wyatt's quote? I am the color red in a world full of black and white.
These QR codes are messing with me because I'm just seeing QR codes everywhere now, and I'm snapping pictures of them. And the last one I came up with, it was Bosley hair loss for men.
I'm pretty sure Jesse said the last
now.
one he did took him to Blue Chew.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. Blue Chew, if you guys want a long erection, that's our read for the week.
Yeah.
If you want an erection lasting longer and perform better in the bedroom, just take a tablet. You want an
erection to last longer than these teases have lasted.
Yeah, these glitches.
Don't be a tease. Use Blue Chew. I don't know. I feel like I'm fucking having to read like the Game of Thrones books to understand the whole Wyatt universe, and it's just fucking ridiculous at this point.
I'm with you.
Just even what you said. Like, think back to what Bray Wyatt said. Like, and it's like a throwaway line from fucking a Raw 7 years ago. Like,
but it's such a good quote. I'm sorry. You already know I was a huge Bray Wyatt mark as much as he's a CM Punk mark.
Yeah.
But like that, I'm sorry. That was just the character I loved to watch wrestle. He was fun to watch, but I will say exactly what I said in the group chat today. I'm borderline over the whole QRTs thing.
No,
based
you
on
said
what I
you
dealt with
are
today.
officially
Okay,
over.
I'm officially over it based on the bullshit I dealt with today. I went on Twitch, or not even Twitch. I went on back on after the most recent QR code. The last QR code led to a website that said door at the top and had about 20 images.
Yeah.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Anyway, there was about 20 images and the word door at the top. If you tried clicking on door up until 4 o'clock today, it wasn't clickable.
Let me in.
But today at 4 o'clock, it became clickable and it led to WWE's official Twitch. Honestly, I didn't know they even had a Twitch. But
We're
and then
here.
what I thought was just going to be like a what I thought was just going to be a 2-minute teaser ended up being a fucking hour-long therapy session between some therapists and I'm assuming Uncle Howdy. That just, to me, ended with nothing.
Please don't tell me you gave him your credit card.
No.
Okay.
I like how you sat for the whole hour.
Well, I didn't know it was going to be an hour. I thought it was going to end honestly, after 5 minutes, I'm like, all right, it's almost over. Then after 10 minutes, I'm like, oh, it's got to end soon. And then next thing you know, it's an hour.
I just love, like, while I'm talking with you, I don't have to watch any of these teases or QR codes. I just hear what you have to say about them.
You got me.
Yeah, so I don't know. The whole thing, it's just, like I said, I think I've mentioned it before. I think it's kind of just overshooting the point. Like, just get to a fucking point. Like, we don't need a fucking novel, you know, to even the Bloodline story went on for 3 years, but it had a point and like you could follow it. Like, this is where it's at and whatever.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying spell it out 100% for us because there's some intrigue and mystique, but
yeah.
But
do you
like,
even call
dude,
it mystique right now?
At this point, it's been going since Mania.
Yeah,
like
before.
Yeah, nothing happened at Backlash. You got to have like some arcs to the story.
No, there was a QR code during
Backlash.
It just led to some other bullshit. But like, everyone thought, not even just me, the one Twitch account that I was on, it was Mr. Conman. He's a big YouTube wrestling guy. And he was even saying, he goes, at the end of it, he goes, just made the face. And I'm just like, I hear you.
Well, some people are enthralled.
It's getting redundant.
Yeah.
Wowie.
Oh God. Just to the point where it's like, like I said, to the point where when it gets introduced, you have your diehards. Obviously, there's going to be diehards of everything. Like, like the Patriot back in '97 against Bret Hart had fucking diehard fans. You know what I mean? But nobody believed him as a fucking Italian man in a fucking red, white, and blue mask was not believable. But
hey, I liked him. I was rooting for him.
I bet you did.
Till he was in that sharpshooter.
We also got the Cody Crybabies. It's another perfect example.
They've been quiet though.
Because
they don't have nothing to cry about anymore. You know, it's kind of boring. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Cody at least represents the company well, even if it's not portrayed on camera. The off-camera stuff, the off-screen stuff, I think he's doing really well, knocking it out of the park as being like the face of the company.
Oh yeah, well he's got the perfect life, the perfect dog, the perfect wife, the perfect Taurus, the perfect suit.
Lisp. I got the perfect lisp
with Thucker and Thuckatash, Cody.
Yo, if Roman comes back and hits him with the suffering succotash, I'm going to shit my pants.
No, I want MJF to hit him back with it. Yeah.
His mouth looks like a creative character from 2K when he talks.
Wow. Ouch.
We talked a lot about the King of the Ring tournament from Raw and SmackDown. Raw also we had Drew McIntyre, CM Punk.
Yes.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yes.
How can we forget? I'm even wearing the merch.
Yeah, so it was pretty much Drew's rebuttal to last week's Raw when Punk got to come down after Drew had left and talk a bunch of shit in the ring. And this time Drew came down and really let Punk have it with some good lines.
Oh,
Yeah.
Drew's on fire.
Yeah.
100%. My favorite line from that was when the crowd was chanting "what" when after Priest came out, and he goes, "What if he's a BS champion?"
Yeah.
And they did.
Just everything he says and everything he does is so believable. And like I'm bought into Drew McIntyre. Like there's no gimmick of like a Scottish psychopath or carrying a sword around or anything else. He's just pissed off for the injustices that have been put against him since WrestleMania. And
He's been doing so good. So good.
It just kills it.
Yeah.
Kills it.
Yeah. And
he's seriously getting me to the point where fuck Damian Priest. Like, whatever, man. Like, I'm not bought in on Damian Priest whatsoever, but like the feud with Drew McIntyre and Punk.
Yeah.
I'm like leaning Drew McIntyre, even though I know what the outcome possibly most likely is going to be. Like, I'm leaning Drew McIntyre. I've seen this shit from CM Punk for, besides his little hiatus he had for 10 years. Like, CM Punk is CM Punk.
Yeah.
Right.
But this Drew McIntyre is just like fresh. You know what I mean?
It's the best Drew, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh,
agree.
Hands down.
He's making Punk look great too.
Oh, they're feeding off each other perfectly. And it's crazy to think, can we all agree that the two people carrying Monday Night Raw right now are both injured? Like, that's crazy. They're doing incredible work and not even performing.
In the ring, yeah. Just promos and just talking, carrying it.
You guys said it. Drew has been on point since dropping that title winning and dropping the title at Mania. He hasn't missed a step at all.
Yeah. Even leading up to it, the build between him and Seth was just really good.
Yeah, because he's being real. He's being Drew. He's not hiding behind a gimmick. He's just being Drew.
I think this new, like, Triple H-led WWE, not everybody, because I think some people kind of have to have a leash on him, but I think he knows the people and trusts the people that he can go out and just go cut a promo.
Yeah.
And not, or maybe just guidelines as to where the promo is going to go instead of 100% scripted out.
Right.
And I think he's just letting people go out there and just do what they do. And that might have been what Drew's downfall's been for the last few years, is he's been having to be strict by the script, what the writers write for him, go out and just perform it. And now he can just go out there and just say, just air his grievances and just blur that line. And I'm a Drew McIntyre guy, man.
Yeah, and he was calling CM Punk. If you're a CM Punk fan, you're stupid, you're dumb. Yeah. Greatest trick the devil ever pulled was yada yada yada.
Oh, he said the best trick CM Punk ever pulled was looking like he was on drugs and never actually doing drugs.
Yeah, being straight edge. Yeah, I thought that was a great line. Yep.
There was another line he said I can't remember, but it was just like a line of the year too. I can't believe I can't remember it, but he just said something that was like, oh, so fucking good, man.
And then, like we said, Damian Priest had came out. I thought he held his own against Drew. He had a few good lines on him. I thought he was going to get buried by Drew, and Drew was going to like completely just make him look bad. Damian did better than I thought he would do, because I don't think his strong suit is necessarily on the mic yet at this point.
Mm-mm.
But he did better than I thought he would, in keeping it going.
Well,
in my opinion,
it's easy, as good as Drew's doing, it's easy to cut a promo on Drew right now because of how he dropped the title. He lost his focus. Yeah. He turned his attention to Punk, got his ass beat. Bada boom. Priest has a good side to the
and
tail.
It is low hanging fruit for Priest.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. It's low hanging fruit, and he's able to just grab it as easily as possible and just throw it in Drew's face, because that's what everybody knows. It's apparent.
Yeah.
When Damian Priest talks, he sounds like a robot to me.
He does, especially when he says "all rise."
Yeah, and then like the whole thing with Carlito backstage, we didn't really touch on that, whatever.
Oh,
but look, Carlito, thank you for helping us in the Judgment Day.
But
you're not welcome here.
that was cool.
Oh, no.
Pull out an apple out of your ass and eat it. You know.
Yeah,
like,
where the fuck does he pull those things out of?
Oh, another thing was JD McDonough. We talked about Braun Strowman, but he kind of went up to Braun Strowman backstage.
You've been warned.
Yeah, and then they just laughed him off when he left. Like
shaking his finger at a fucking.
I got a good
massive
chuckle out of
human
that.
being.
I thought that was funny. But
Crash
was
Holly
fun.
2.0.
Yeah,
Back in the day.
JD bobblehead.
all I want to see is him get his ass kicked every time.
Oh,
Like-
who called him a Funko Pop?
No clue.
Someone called him a Funko Pop, and I can't unsee it.
The King of the Ring plays out, like I said, tomorrow night. As of this recording, SmackDown's tomorrow night, so we'll see how it goes. I'm remaining optimistic. I feel like the hangover from WrestleMania is still kind of lingering, and I think like a lot of storylines are just kind of simmering and trying to catch fire. I think the only thing really big is Punk and Drew McIntyre is like the only thing really, really cooking right now.
That's true. Yeah.
Agreed.
Everything else is kind of just, and I was going to touch on it during AEW, but WWE as well. Like these people holding fucking titles and never defending them. And it just bothers me, man. It just bothers me. And I'll touch on that more when we get to AEW, but it just, I remember back in the day, especially in WWE, that was a rule. Like that it was like part of storyline was, we see you. We see you. But it was part of storyline back in the day that you needed to defend your title every 30 days. And if you couldn't, you had to relinquish the title. And like, and now it's just like people hold these titles for fucking months on end and don't defend them. And
they barely even show up at the PLEs and defend them.
The Brock Lesnar effect. It started happening when Brock Lesnar became champion back in the day. It just was showing up every 3 months.
Translated to Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And
it's everybody.
Here we are.
Yeah, so we had AEW Dynamite next, live from Washington. And we had Mox and Bryan Danielson versus Jeff Cobb and Kyle Fletcher. And we haven't heard of, I guess Jeff Cobb was somewhat in AEW years ago. I didn't remember him. I had to look him back up. But what's your guys' thoughts on Kyle Fletcher? Because it seems like he's been getting a lot of matches in the last couple of months. Why do you think?
I mean, he's athletic, but I don't know. I'm not sold on him.
He looks like a generic creative character.
Yeah, 100. Perfect. Thank you.
There's nothing to him. Like
no.
There's no. I don't see any real charisma. Any.
From his gear to his moveset, he's exactly what you said. He's a basic creative character.
Yeah, there was this old wrestling video game for the regular NES called WrestleMania Challenge, and there was a character on it called YOU, and it was supposed to be you fighting in the ring, and that's what he reminds me of. It's just a fucking bland ass fucking creative character.
He reminds me of one of the base models you could select from in 2K.
Yeah. Jeff Cobb looks like a beast, but like he came in back in the day when Cody was trying to build up to face Jericho. I believe it was Cody was building up to face Jericho for the title, and that was one of the people that Jericho brought in to put in Cody's way was Jeff Cobb. Back in the day. I believe it was the feud with Cody, I believe it was.
I knew he looked familiar.
Yeah, so he came in years ago and just did a little stint. He's big in New Japan. But
gotcha.
Yeah, I thought Mox and Danielson, they did put on a pretty good match with them, though, too. Kyle Fletcher hit a 360 tombstone pile driver.
Because spinning in a circle really drives home that fucking move,
Yeah.
Hey.
Can't just do a tombstone. You got to spin in a circle while you do it.
And it makes it pretty damn dangerous, too.
And speaking on that, I know we'll probably touch on the other tombstone that happened later on in the night. I think it was the main event. But I'm getting real sick of seeing people kicking out of dope-ass finishing moves that are supposed to be a finishing move.
That's what bothered me, I thought, too, with that. And then the following one with Claudio Castelloni, the no-selling, of course, with AEW. And it bothered me again for Dynamite. Yeah.
I mean, look at...
Every match is... Sorry, but every match is just littered with no-selling.
Well, look at back. Was it Dynamite last week when it was Orange Cassidy against Trent?
Yeah.
And Trent did a pile driver to Orange Cassidy on the steel steps, and fucking not 30 seconds later, Orange Cassidy was up with like a chair trying to fight him. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
It's
the
getting
no selling
brutal.
in AEW is fucking terrible.
And I don't know if that's booking, like on how they're being told to carry themselves in the match, or if that's just the competitors.
No one's telling them how to carry
long to
themselves in the
sell.
match. That's the problem. They're just going out and doing whatever they want to do. There's no like
Yeah.
producer for the match to like tell them, hey, that's fucking dumb.
Hey, Young Bucks, do a better job.
Yeah, and you know, I spoke on Claudio because he followed that matchup, and I hate to agree with Vince McMahon for something, but when he said he doesn't see something like great main event caliber with
Right.
Claudio or Cesaro at this point, I wasn't sure. I thought he may be wrong when he first came to AEW, but I agree with him now as far as how he's been built up and portrayed, at least how he's been booked. I don't know if that's, you know, necessarily how he wants it to be seen, but just as far as what he does and his promos, and I don't know.
He reminds me of Jake Hager. Like when Jake Hager was in AEW, just like no personality, no.
Yeah. Thank you. Yep.
He's a lot better in the ring than Jake Hager.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Like,
yeah, he's great in the ring. Absolutely. Yeah.
It just he has no presence otherwise.
He's not a main event world champion type guy.
No.
Yeah.
What's next in
I believe Adam Copeland was.
I got nothing good to say about that.
Oh, he just came out into street clothes.
No,
what was he coming out to the ring for?
You want to know how they promoted it on the card?
I thought it was promoted to be a match, though.
No, it was promoted as Adam Copeland.
Oh, face-to-face
challenges
Malachi
for Double or Nothing, and it's like,
okay,
why wouldn't you just not advertise that? Have Adam come out, cut the promo, and challenge him. I don't know. One, I don't think that needed any advertisement. Two, it was a waste of a spot. Three, this whole storyline with Malachi taking Copeland's wedding ring and acting like it's an eye that he could look into is fucking stupid.
Yeah, he comes right out and immediately he's jumped by House of Black. Just the way in Dynamite in general this week, the matches were in order. It made no sense to me. Like they didn't let anything breathe.
Even the main event.
To quote Jay-Z, let that bitch breathe. Like, it just didn't make any sense.
And it just, I don't know, like, in what fucking wrestling universe do you know that, like, the champion will come out and challenge the challenger?
Yeah.
The challenger is supposed to challenge the champion. Yeah. That's how fucking wrestling works, dude. It's not me just being critical.
Yeah.
Like, I have my championship belt. Hey, I want you to fight me for the championship belt. Who the fuck does that?
Yeah, and then like Kevin said, they took his wedding ring for whatever reason. They're setting him up in the corner to take this giant chair shot, and of all people, who comes to the ring? Kyle O'Reilly to help him.
Kyle Fletcher. No, it's Kyle O'Reilly.
Okay, yeah. Kyle O'Reilly comes to help him, and does it even work? No, he just gets his ass beat too. So what was the point in him even coming to the ring in the first place?
Literally,
because what ultimately happened?
Story connected.
Yeah, he got beat, and Hope took the triple chair corner shot in the ring. You know,
they just wasted time for a chair shot that was already going to happen.
Let it breathe.
I love how when storyline calls for it, they'll have 20 people come out and separate the people in the ring. But when storyline calls for it, they just won't have anybody come and help separate.
No, they'll just let someone
There's
got to
be continuity between that.
Right.
Like sometimes somebody will come out and there'll be like 10 people out to like separate them. No. And then other times, like there's 5 minutes before anybody comes out to help. There's there's no continuity between it.
And the commentators, you know, Tony does a decent job sometimes of trying to make up for all the bullshit that Tony's doing backstage and promoting and booking these events and matches. Excalibur just ain't it a lot of the time too.
I can't stand him.
I just picture him, you know, you can hear my voice, but you can't see my face.
I know.
You know,
like I said,
he's got to wear the lucha mask.
I don't have much good to say about Dynamite this week. And I'm seriously, guys, I'm trying to find anything good to talk about with this company. It's just becoming super hard.
Well, are you excited for Anarchy in the Arena?
No.
No?
I mean, maybe a little bit, but we'll get to why, because it was the end of
So
Dynamite.
it was advertised that it's been advertised we're going to have this Anarchy in the Arena with the Bucks and Jack Perry and Okada against FTR,
Kingston,
and Bryan Danielson. And there's a open spot now because Kingston was took out.
Yeah, so at New Japan United Kingdom, Kingston had a match, and Jack Perry and the Bucks, the Elite, I guess, came and just jumped him and attacked him, and the replay didn't show anything too major, but now he's hurt and can't wrestle.
Yeah.
And I don't know. This cross-promotion thing is just too much, man. Like, I understand the fucking diehard IWC bullshit going on, but there's a such thing in this world, and it's okay to be a casual fan. And a casual fan doesn't follow 5 different fucking promotions. So they don't understand what's going on across 5 different promotions. And I know they had a little video package to show what happened. But in what world? Dude, I don't give a fuck, dude. I'll call my shot right fucking now. In the ring, not whatever. Jack Perry, Young Bucks, bitch slap all 3 of them motherfuckers, dude. And I'm not the toughest guy in the fucking world, but you ain't gonna sit there and tell me in any world, any reality, that they're believable as fucking dominant heels that are gonna take out somebody like Eddie Kingston, take out a tag team like FTR, take out, well, Bryan Danielson's tiny too, but like, they're not believable.
Right. Even Bryan Danielson's one of the toughest sons of bitches on that roster. Like,
when you had the NWO, it was Hulk Hogan, 6'10", fucking 300 pounds. Kevin Nash, 7 foot, 300 pounds. Scott Hall, 6'10", 280 pounds. And then strong fucking force people that would whip your fucking ass and take over. I don't get it.
And I don't understand why the other man isn't Moxley. Isn't he supposed to be backing up Bryan Danielson too? Like, isn't this their group?
You do know who that 4th man is, right?
And he just came out and had this whole big
match.
When he won the IWGP title, he came out and had this whole big long spiel about how he bleeds AEW. And I just don't get it.
Yeah, so we're getting that Anarchy in the Arena because we can't have the Stadium Stampede because, let's face it, they don't got enough people to fill the stadium for the Double or Nothing for it. Well, maybe they do. Give them a little respect there.
This is another thing, is like, I thought spatterings, so building up to Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
You got the Anarchy in the Arena.
Yep.
Now Copeland and Malachi Black is going to be a barbed wire steel cage. For some reason, I thought last week when Christian and Swerve were talking that they were promoting like an I Quit match. There was something about saying I quit in there. I might be wrong. But like,
I'm going to have to look back. And
it's like, so every match they're starting to book is just all stipulation matches.
Yeah, nothing's just like a straight up wrestling match anymore.
Dude, they had Tony Storm fight like No Name fucking McGee in a grudge match on Dynamite for no fucking reason. Like, no reason. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm just
Anarchy in the Arena, Stadium Stampede. What's next? Welfare Warehouse match.
Yeah,
that's all they can sell out.
Gee, that's tough.
That was a good one.
I don't know.
But it just, I don't know. Just moving on. It just, I'm lost with it. I'm really trying to find stuff with AEW that I like, and I'm like getting into, and I'm just
how about those Young Buck Reebok pump sneakers?
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Sorry,
they're gonna sell less pairs than they sold their book.
They're gonna sell less pairs than TNA sold views on their last pay-per-view. 500, by the way.
Oh
yeah, we're gonna be the big dominant heel team in AEW. Buy our shoes.
I'm over it. I'm so over this story.
Yeah. So FTR
It's
called
retarded.
Okada the Young Bucks bitch too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, what does that make Jack Perry then? Where does he
Scapegoat
fall on that?
bitch.
He's the scapegoat, dude.
He's the cuck.
scapegoat.
He's the
The
cuck. Like,
I like it.
If you are what you eat, then you're a dick. They, there's people online that were like, "Oh, that time in New Japan really did Jack Perry good. It got him over." It's like, bro, he cut 3 promos and had 2 matches in New Japan. Like, I don't understand how people are thinking like this is like him. If this is him over,
yeah.
my God, man.
The Young Bucks had the tag team championship eliminator match against the Fallen Angels, and which I didn't know they were a relevant tag team, and I thought stats matter. So why are they getting this match above all these other tag teams? And Jack Perry was on commentary.
Yeah,
Yuck.
I did forget about that. And that was stupid. He just took a sip of his drink, dumped it on Shivani's head, and left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that in 9th grade.
Off.
They seem like high school twerps. Like,
They
that's
do.
what they remind me of, is the people, like the little twerps you wanted to beat the piss out of in fucking the cafeteria in 9th grade.
But you never could because you knew they would rat on you.
Yeah. And the Bucks had a horribly executed TK driver on Christopher Daniels.
Worse than the one they did to TK?
I think it was actually worse. Yeah. And this whole time during this match, also, there's a timer on screen, a ticker, counting down Swerve's match for his
qualifier.
Yeah. And I believe I said at the time,
happened in the first hour. All this bullshit, stupid shit happened in 1 hour.
Yeah, and Kevin brought up the little ticker thing, and like him and I were talking like about how it gave the fans something to look forward to. But just say, okay, so it might have backfired, because just say I'm watching AEW just for Swerve.
Right.
I don't care about anything else on Dynamite. I want to see Swerve. And then you see in the top of the screen, Swerve's coming on in 56 minutes. Well, I can fucking just change the channel and come back in 56 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. I thought I understood, but when I thought about it a little bit, I really just don't understand.
It's the believability out of the matches that I was watching right there before it happened, too, in my opinion.
Everything's rushed.
Like, they know how much time they have,
Yeah, you're watching the clock the whole time. Like, all right, it's almost time. It's almost time.
Yeah. So, of course, the Bucks went over and won their match, and, they fired Christopher Daniels. They gave him the horrible news,
Boo-hoo.
And then the Bucks asked for an AEW chant. And, of course, the AEW faithful chanted it. They went with them. Are they the heels? Are they good? Who are these people really rooting for?
Right. And listen, it's not AEW, it's AE dumbasses.
They're just a bunch of bitter little bitch boys. I don't know.
They really are.
Yeah.
And then what was next? Swerve?
Well, Tony Storm had a little promo on Serena Deeb and her, but
I have a feeling that's going to be a decent match at Double or Nothing, but we'll save Double or Nothing for Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
The build's stupid. Serena Deeb's really good. Tony Storm's going to go over.
Yeah.
It has, Kevin just said, it has potential. The match is going to be good, but like they're just fucking botching it because they would rather focus. They would rather focus on their TBS title feud and not their women's title feud.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later. I'm sorry. I have a lot of fun. I'm really trying to like AEW. Like, I know there's AEW fans that probably watch this and they're going to be burying us.
This was a hard episode. Yeah.
It was.
It was difficult.
Hook returned for yet another squash match, again, in record time. And we had Jericho and Big Bill coming out. Jericho's got his new music as the learning tree, of course, as we've seen. He's playing the happy-go-lucky guy. Hook challenges him, and, Jericho says, "This is not a fighting moment. This is a teaching moment." And the crowd hit Jericho with the retirement chants.
Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah.
And he's, like, feeding into it like it's heel heat.
It's not.
Like, that's go-away heat, bro. That's so bad. Yeah. It's fucking brutal. It's brutal.
It was at that point in the show that I really really contemplated pressing the channel button.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did right about this time.
Yeah.
I think you did, honestly, because that's when you texted me or messaged
I had to finish
chat.
it the next day. Like, there's only so much I can take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I powered through for all of us.
Yeah. And finally, you would think it'd be time for the main event for Swerve in his home state of Washington to have the main event, the AEW World Champion. But no, he comes on with still a lot of time left in the show. No Prince Nana. And we've been told that the Mogul Embassy is no more. They've turned on him. They're jealous.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, solid match with Brian Cage. I'll give him that much. And Swerve works with what he gets, I'm not a Brian Cage fan. I'm a Swerve fan.
Yeah.
Swerve looked good. Swerve got the win. And then, honestly, one of the nastiest things I've seen on a AEW house show. Can we talk about it?
Not a house show.
Well, not a house.
Live
sorry.
show. Live show.
Live show.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Christian comes out with Mama Wayne, and Swerve gets attacked by Nick Wayne and Lucha Kills Switchosaurus.
Yeah.
I like Lucha Kills Switchosaurus. It sounds fun. It's about the only fun thing I can make up at this point.
Yeah.
But and they have a picture of Swerve's family in a picture frame, and Nick Wayne literally. I thought it was a type of glass that doesn't hurt you, like that breakaway glass. You know what I'm talking about?
Cry me a river.
It's real glass.
That shit was real glass. Did you see the close up on Swerve's eye?
He was squirting. They had him
out.
squirting blood. Yeah.
Like, okay, that was a pretty nasty cut, and I'm like, okay, where's this going? And then Christian takes the picture, rubs it all in Swerve's blood, and then last week I took the Mogul Embassy from you. This week I took your blood, and at Double or Nothing, I take your title.
Yeah. And I'm going to say it again. Why doesn't Swerve get the main event of the show? He's in his home state. He's the AEW World Champion. What the hell is going on? It's just horrible.
And
stupid.
Instead, they give us a main event of a throwaway title match where you know who's going to win that.
Yeah, well, because the Young Bucks got to be the main event. They got to be involved. You know what I mean? They got to their storyline, the Elite storyline. That's the top storyline in AEW right now, bud. The fuck you talking about? That's what the viewers are watching.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to say about Dynamite. It had me that pissed off. I know we got a little bit more to talk about. That just pissed me right.
What'd you think about Will Ospreay and Roderick Strong coming face to face?
Stupid.
Telling each other they had no respect for each other.
Stupid.
Okay, so the interview starts. The interview starts with the fucking interviewer, the woman. I don't remember. They said it's a new person on the team. I don't remember her name. I'm sorry, but thank you guys for agreeing for no physicality during this. Okay, so we're going to agree to no physicality, but like if you start attacking me personally, I'm going to slap you in your mouth. You know what I mean? Like, they had that stipulation of there's going to be no physicality here.
And not for nothing, right there, isn't that going to make people not want to watch if there's not even a chance there's going to be a fight?
Ospreay told Roderick that he's going to teach him a lesson on humility. Yeah. And then he went on to say that he's internationally known as the greatest wrestler of all time.
I mean,
bold claims.
That is a bold claim.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand this. Like, I can make chicken wings and tell you they're the world's greatest chicken wings. Doesn't make them fucking so.
That ain't Popeyes.
You could eat my chicken wings and be like, yo, Jesse, these are the greatest chicken wings I've ever fucking ate in my life. It does not make them the greatest chicken wings in the world. He's a great wrestler. He's a good personality. I like him on the mic.
Currently.
And I like him on the mic and I like him in the ring. But I don't. He's a high flyer, high risk. He makes everything look smooth, but is he like a true ring general? Can he have a match with anybody on the fucking card and adapt to that style of match and have the best match possible, like a Bryan Danielson can, like a Cody Rhodes can, like an AJ Styles can, even a Randy Orton can? Like, does he have that level of being a ring general yet? Or
Yeah.
will he ever? That remains to be seen.
Get
But
it
like
out.
right now, it's like everybody he has a match with has to adapt to his style of match.
Yeah.
And does that make you the best wrestler in the world?
Yeah. He's got a lot of time to prove to do this on the real stage now.
Oh yeah,
At these
he's
pay-per-views to do this with these other people. You know,
He's
I
very
would save
young.
that
He's got
line,
time.
being the
I just-
internationally
Yes.
known, the greatest wrestler of all time. Save that till you're in the main event, competing for
Yes.
the championship,
Yes,
or
you're
you
fighting
won that
fucking Roderick
championship.
Strong.
or
Yeah,
not even that, a championship that actually matters.
yeah,
Not Roderick Strong's.
yeah. So
Where the fuck has Adam Cole been? Cole came back for a week and 3/4. Like, what did he sprain his vagina again?
Probably
Like,
made
what the
half
fuck
a
are
million,
we
or
doing?
probably made 1.2 mil just in that 1 week.
It's ridiculous, man.
He's on vacation again.
he's not out being broskies with
What was the point? What was the
MJF.
point of bringing him back out? Like, what was the point of having him
It
come
was a
out
fucking
at the
throwaway. It
pay-per-view?
was a money grab to try to grab views for a little bit. I don't know. It was stupid.
Doesn't make sense. Doesn't
No.
make
Yeah.
sense.
So next we had Mercedes Moné coming out.
Motherfucker.
Yo, I'm so sick of her theme song, the CEO shit.
Nobody chants it.
I can't stand it.
Oh,
Like the Sasha Banks song, that was cool.
it's
Like-
fair.
Yo, even when she was in the ring, she like did like, you know how Britt Baker did the DMD thing and everybody would do it. Like,
Yeah,
Sasha Banks set up the CEO and
Oh.
nobody fucking did it.
yeah.
Like, she sucks.
She's gonna get
Willow
owned by Britt
sucks.
Baker with the DMD thing if Britt comes back and they go at each other. Like,
Oh my god, dude! They're
That's
just
going
gonna
to be
do
the beginning and end of her short
they're just gonna do a
AEW
bunch
career.
of fingering in the ring. Talking
Oh,
like, where's your
yeah.
heads at?
yeah,
Where's your heads
yeah,
at?
yeah.
Sorry.
A lot of Monet. Yeah.
But then like Willow, like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I understand she means well, but like, my god, like, you know what this is?
the
This
respect.
is
Yeah,
the TBS championship, and I guard this with my life. It's like she hasn't had one match, let alone one title defense since she won it.
No.
she
So
calls
the
it.
No, she
prestige
did.
of that title
She
goes
did.
out the
Prestigious
fucking
title.
window.
She
It's named
defended it
after a TV channel.
Bro,
Like-
she hasn't defended it one time.
Yeah,
Against Sky Blue,
How
right?
prestigious is that?
and then she mentioned 50 years history. Like this
Of being
title
on
somehow
TBS.
relates to that.
But AEW's only been around for a few years?
Well, she's saying there's been wrestling on TBS for 50 years.
She was
but-
relating it to what, WCW, I would assume.
yeah, even before NWA.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
Fucking garbage. And then she puts Mercedes through the table.
Yeah.
She
yeah,
did
that was a
hit her
heel
with-
move.
Yeah.
Here's,
But,
and
like-
she's supposed to be the baby face, right? Because Mercedes healing.
The
So why
line
would
she hit her with, though, was fucking hilarious. She goes, last time we fought, I walked out a champion. But you didn't even walk out. I'm like,
Monet called herself the greatest of all time, too.
none of you are the GOAT.
You haven't even had a match yet in AEW. What if people that only watch AEW only know you from that? How do they know you're the greatest of all time?
And okay, so in AEW, they constantly try to take shots at WWE and put down WWE for being like a lackluster product and stuff. So then
Mhm.
don't have this woman who you're building up to be the face of your women's division come out and say all the accolades she did to create a women's revolution in that fucking company.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I did this and I broke barriers and I did that. Yeah, where did you do that? In
Yeah.
WWE? The same
Mm.
place that all these other people are fucking putting down constantly?
Yo, you want to
Doesn't
know
make
who's
sense.
cooler than Mercedes Moné?
Everything.
My cat.
Oh, Lord.
Piper is cooler than Mercedes Moné, right?
There you
So
go.
moving on, I don't know what else happened after. I was really just trying to get through.
Ah,
I
fucking
think
that.
well, we
got
had-
to the main event.
Dax versus Okada.
That was the main event.
That
Yeah.
was the main event.
Thank fucking God we're at the
Yeah.
main event. Okay, so this is what I don't understand with this, right? They're coming down to the ring. Okada gets introduced first. The champion gets introduced first. Fucking drives me up a fucking wall, dude. Champion always gets introduced second. I can't fucking stand
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And fucking Excalibur douchebag fucking goes on about how this match is being contested under Continental Championship rules.
Yeah.
Was it ever established in this company that there's Continental Championship rules?
No.
And then he breaks down and tells you what the Continental Championship rules are. There's no outside interference. Nobody allowed at ringside. And if it comes out, they get a hefty fine and maybe a suspension or firing. So why don't we just make that stipulation for every match in AEW so we don't have any outside interference? Why does it only have to be the Continental title?
Does international or whatever it's championship rules mean that they both have to use a bidet before they come out?
I think so.
Continental.
But it just doesn't make sense
lost.
to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so only during Continental Championship title matches, there's no outside interference and nobody allowed at ringside. Why don't they just make that stipulation for every fucking match in AEW? That way we don't have any outside interference.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like, I don't fucking know.
It doesn't matter because the Bucks are the EVPs.
Yeah. And then the FTW title gets contested under FTW rules. And then anytime the House of Black's in a match, it's House rules. And it's like, dude,
how many different rule sets do people have?
It's fucking ridiculous, bro.
I mean, the match itself wasn't terrible, but that's only because Dax and Okada are both in their own right decent in the ring, minus the Rainmaker finisher, which we won't touch on again. But I got nothing.
Well, I feel like the silver lining of all this came out, and that was being the fourth mystery teammate. And it was Darby Allin. He's back.
That dude heals faster than Wolverine. Shit
came back from the bus injury, from the bus accident. You know.
It looks like he managed to catch the bus this time.
I thought he was going to take a ride the bus in instead of a skateboard this time.
Yeah, I didn't even see how he got to the ring. Did he come in through the back?
I think he came in on the pink cloud. That was his fucking coat. Like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
But, like, as much as I hate on that episode of Dynamite, it was nice to see Darby Allin back.
Yeah, but you see the boots he was wearing? How big his foot's not healed.
No.
He was wearing, like, these huge, like, Doc Martin type style boots. And
there's no way his nose is completely healed yet either. There's
you already know that this is leading to Anarchy in the Arena. It's going to be a big glass spot with him and Jack Perry to drive home the real glass Crimea River fucking thing.
Yeah.
And Darby Allin likes going through glass. Like, at what point are we just going to, realistically look at this, not even trying to be funny or ridiculous or anything? Like, are we potentially going to eventually see somebody die in an AEW ring from, the stupid shit they're fucking doing?
Yep.
Like, okay, so what if they do a glass spot and the glass shard slices one of their necks or something?
I'm genuinely concerned that it's going to be Darby Allin for how often he goes through full-on panes of glass.
I don't understand, like, some of the shit these fucking people do, and it's like, you won't really understand that, like, you play with fire enough, you're gonna get fucking burned.
Yeah, or a real serious injury, too. Yeah. It's...
What more serious of an injury can you get than death?
I think that's an injury.
Yeah.
I mean...
But it just doesn't make sense to me, like, not everything... And that's what we call, like, the inability to book a match or to build a match, produce a match, is like, we're just going to put a stipulation on it and have you guys just go out and do a bunch of stupid shit. That's all it is.
It almost seems like when they run out of ideas, their escapism is a death match.
Check this out. So, we had that 6-man tag at the last pay-per-view. Eddie Kingston, Copeland, and Mark Briscoe. What the fuck happened to Mark Briscoe? Against...
Dude, I was wondering the same thing last night.
He should have been with FTR and Darby Allin, my opinion. But had that against the House of Black. They had the mist at the end, whatever.
Yep.
And then Copeland faced Buddy Matthews, then Brody King.
Mm-hmm. At
what point in this feud did it become such a blood feud that Adam Copeland could not rest until he fought Malachi Black in a barbed wire steel cage? Like, that escalated very fucking quickly. And that was before his wedding ring got stolen.
Some people would hope somebody would steal their wedding ring.
Just these storylines. If you want to even call them storylines, or just like a loose leaf paper notes is what they're going off of. It's just there's no continuity in anything that they're doing.
It's frustrating.
It's beyond frustrating, man. Like,
because I'm really watching AEW and like trying to find stuff that like I'm like, oh yeah, this is good, and they got me to the point where I don't even care about Swerve right now.
No, thank you. And I almost feel like I'm wasting my time on Wednesdays and Saturday nights.
Yeah, again, I thought I thought it was just disrespectful not to have Swerve being in his home state again, being the champion, not having the main event. Like,
it's
I get Darby Allin's from Washington too, or whatever, but
yeah.
Okay, so
I believe
the AEW title hasn't been defended since the last pay-per-view. TBS title hasn't been defended since the last pay-per-view. The women's title hasn't been defended since the last pay-per-view. The Young Bucks didn't even have a match since the last pay-per-view until this past Wednesday.
Yep.
Like, at what point, like, the champions lose their credibility when they're not defending their titles? Like, what's the point of having a title on you if you're not defending it? Oh, I'm the tag team champion. Okay, you don't defend it. You just carry it out there. Like, there's no... Like, the pay-per-view, you think the pay-per-view would have the tag team champions defending their tag team titles. No, they're in a fucking 8-man piss in my porch fucking match. Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe I'm not supposed to get it. I don't know.
And if you want to defend it and say that there is stories now, okay, fine. But are the stories good?
Right. Oh. All right. Can I tell a tale of the tape here because it's Thursday night and I can tell you?
Yeah.
May 15th episode of AEW Dynamite last night as we're recording, right?
Yeah.
Had an average viewership of 672,000 viewers. The lowest total audience for a Wednesday airing of the show since June 24th of 2020.
Ooh.
Like, so now they're dipping below, there was like the 850,000 every week for a long time. And everybody's like, oh, we got the 850. We got the 850 as long as we stay there.
Yeah.
And now it was dipping to 700,000. And now it's dipping to 600,000. At what point?
It's just gonna keep.
Yeah. And Raw and SmackDown hasn't necessarily been breaking records on that either recently, but the numbers are still consistently higher.
Right.
Yeah, there was one week where Raw from the week before lost like 350,000 viewers from the week before, but they were still up over 1 million, and that's they lost half of the total viewership of AEW and still had over 1 million. Like, wow. I've gotten in arguments with AEW fans online.
Yeah.
And I've said this, and they're like, why do you worry about ratings? Why do you care about ratings? Because you dumb fuckers. Why do you care about attendance at shows? Because at the end of the day, wrestling's a business. If they're not getting ratings and they lose their TV rights deal, first of all, you don't get to see the show.
Yeah.
Second of all, they're not making money to keep these wrestlers to keep the show going. If they're not selling tickets, they're not making money. The company's not making money. What company do you know of that continuously loses money and stays open?
It directly correlates to if they're putting on a good show or not. Sometimes you may have some gray area here and there.
Right. But as a fan, you should be worried about these numbers a little bit.
Yeah.
You should be worried about it because if they don't consistently have good numbers, then they're not going to continue. Like,
let me ask you, because I'm not totally sure how it works with like venues that are being booked for wrestling shows and how these like venues decide if they want the show there. But let's say these numbers continually to keep going down farther. Do you see some of these venues maybe start turning them down, take it up because they can't get as much audience in there to sell what they need to sell to make it worth it for them?
Yeah, really? See, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how... Does the venue pay AEW to have them there?
I'm not sure. A lot of times, like, I believe like these venues, and it speaks more for like music and stuff, but the venues make more of the money off of like selling the drinks and the food and concession and all these other things like that. But if you're only able to bring in so much people and you could have like a bigger artist or event happening on that same night where you would draw a full house, why would you not choose to have that? unless
Right.
Tony Khan or whoever's putting up all this money and they don't care and they're just going to keep throwing it at them to pay to be
But
there, you know?
I find that highly unlikely.
Yeah.
Seeing how much money he already pays his stars.
Yeah. And
It's hard to believe there's that much money left over that you could just buy out a venue regardless if you sell it out.
Yeah, and
he's got a bottomless pit.
Yeah, it's not happening with the AEW pay-per-views. Not yet, at least.
Right. AEW pay-per-views still do well.
Yeah, and if it were to start to affect then I would definitely be worried, for sure.
Right.
But
yeah, I just don't get it. I don't understand their reasoning. And like we've talked about before, like why not just book smaller venues, fill it up, and let the acoustics, like you and I have been to, we've all been to like music shows. Like a full house is going to make a lot more noise than a half empty house. It doesn't matter what size the house is. I've been to venues that hold 500 people, but with it full, it sounded like there was 10,000 people in there.
Yeah.
Right.
But on the flip side, if you have a fucking 15,000 person arena and sell 2,500 tickets, it's going to sound literally during AEW, you can hear like one fan yelling to the ring during certain segments.
Echo. Yeah, the acoustics are messed up in these arenas. And you wouldn't have to go through all this trouble of trying to hide these empty seats too.
Mm-hmm.
It would look better, to have it in a smaller venue, and it would probably be funner for the fans too.
Like, I think that a good example is NXT. NXT looks like it's popping every episode.
Yeah.
And that's in the Performance Center.
Right.
Yeah. Or even the Impact Zone, you know?
Yeah.
For TNA Impact. Like,
you get a nice small venue and sell those tickets at a fairly accessible price. You're going to sell out a small venue because you can control the environment, how many people are there. You can control how the environment sounds based on if it's, just an average viewer or a diehard fan.
It just looks more packed too, like how ECW used to look or something. And Tony Khan being such a ECW mark, you think he would want to.
ECW was a small ass venue.
Yeah.
And at
they
what
were filled to the fucking rafters.
Yes.
With maybe 700 people, but it looked like a couple thousand.
And at what point does it kill the wrestlers' morale to consistently be coming out to these arenas that are over half empty, and like the true, like the veterans and the professionals, like kind of make it work and just do their own thing, but these young and up and coming wrestlers and people of that nature that like come out to these half empty arenas and they just look around and they're like, what the fuck are we even doing?
And speaking about morale, Ricky Starks has just put out that he has no clue why he's been off of AEW TV. He doesn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hunter or Paul Levesque, grab him.
Yeah. Trips, what's up?
Seriously, grab him while he's on the fence.
He'll get buried over there.
Better than doing nothing on AEW. I'd rather him be on a. Like I said, you could pair him with A-Town Down Under and he'd fit in just fucking fine.
They're not doing much either.
Well, that's because we got those. Well, I think once this whole tournament shit blows over, we could start really getting into stories and feuds, tag divisions. I think they got time.
Yeah.
But
I'm just so lost with a lot of this, man.
Yeah. No.
I'm fucking disappointed, man.
He looks so pissed off.
Yeah.
Disappointed, bro. Like all across the board, even WWE has been sort of kind of lackluster. I mean, they still got their little things they do, but
it's all been pretty basic.
The King of the Ring tournament is like I said, not one of my favorites, and I think that's just messing everything up right now because it's a lot.
Shout out to fucking Mike Santana and TNA though, making fucking waves though, man. Like I'm a big Santana fan, and we don't touch on people have probably not fucking watched this far of the video, but like I'm a big Santana fan, and whatever he's looking for, and I hope he finds it. And it just seems like he's making big waves over in TNA as far as impact, and I hope something bigger becomes of it for him, because I'm a really big fan of his work, him and Ortiz.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we had a lot to talk about on this episode because I'm trying to make up for some missed time and all these episodes of these different brands and King and Queen of the Ring tournaments and all this craziness.
There's more shit on Twitter than there is in your underwear.
Yeah.
Possibly. But an overall thank you to everyone who is supporting the show. That's why we're doing it. We love communicating with you guys and just giving good stories for you guys.
Yeah. And we'll be
And
back
Blue
with
Chew.
more. Excuse me?
Blue Chew, if you're out there, I got a good read for you.
Yeah.
Blue Chew sponsorship.
My wife loves Blue Chew, and you will too.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. That was the RRW Weekly Review. Thank y'all for tuning in. This has been the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast. Peace.